In Mauritius, artisanal fishing practices are adopting fish aggregating devices, or FADs, for more efficient exploitation of marine resources.
A fish aggregating device is composed of a floating structure which is anchored in the open sea to attract pelagic fish. The aggregation of pelagic fish to drifting flotsams is a natural phenomenon and is known to fishermen since the ages.
Knowledge on the use of FADs is dispensed at a dedicated training center. The intervention of SWIOFISH has enabled more artisanal fishermen to resort to FAD fishery, thus optimizing their catch.
The target group of FAD users in Mauritius were the traditional artisanal fishermen.
Moi, j'ai une information pour la pêche l'eau radou. Longtemps, moi, tu peux la pêche ça passe loin. Maintenant, mais ça radou là, ça passe moins fréquent ça radou là, pour nous la pêche un peu plus, pour nous capables faire une famille plus bien.
The development of FAD fishery has been successful in Mauritius because it was supported by an appropriate training program. The FAD design in Mauritius is the rosary type. In fact, the expertise of Mauritius has been called upon to set FADs in countries such as Mozambique, Kenya, Tanzania, Madagascar, and the Comoros.
In 2015, World Bank funding via SWIOFISH 1 enabled an important data collection exercise to assess stocks in Comoros Islands. Following this, the ODK, or Open Data Kit interface, made this data collection portable. Using mobile technology, the data collection project shows how new technology can help developing countries bypass expensive equipment to reach their sustainable development objectives. Across member states of the IOC, crucial data is steadily being gathered for the benefit of the region. In Rodrigues, unregulated octopus fishing was leading to stock collapse. A dwindling female population reduced reproduction rates. This threatened a whole sector of the economy, with the livelihoods of those depending on this resource.
In the years 2000, 90% of female octopi caught were below the sexual maturity weight. This indicated an accelerating decline in the stock of octopus and its possible collapse. Successes of closures in Madagascar and the active support obtained by the Rodrigues Regional Assembly from the IOC prompted adoption of closures of octopus fishery in Rodrigues.
Today, close regulation and authorized fishing seasons is ensuring sustainable octopus exploitation. As stocks replenish sustainably, the fishing community and the economy are witnessing its benefits.
Avec un la pêche au rythme de temps en temps à Rodrigues, nous trouvons à cette qui est en plus au rythme comparé avec dans le passé. Nos rythmes plus grands et de plus meilleure qualité.
However, lessons are learned from the many closures. There are still challenges to be addressed. The fishers are now convinced of the benefits of closures.
The program taught new skills to fishermen for a steady income during fishing closures.
Nous finissons aussi comprendre qu'il est important pour préserver sa ressource là, pour nous bonnes générations futures. Si nous la pêchons en excès, non, il n'y a pas pour rester.
Crossing borders, successful practices in octopus fishery management are being adapted in Tanzania. From octopus to shrimps, similar sustainable management practices are being applied to Mozambique. The shallow water shrimp, an important resource for both local artisanal fishermen and large industrial operators in Mozambique, was in danger of being overfished. SWIOFISH has enabled management measures to be devised for sustainability of this resource. This shrimp management plan is instrumental to counteract overfishing. A comprehensive monitoring program has also been set up.
O zoneamento podemos descrever como a divisão de zonas de pesca para melhor controlarmos e para melhor gerirmos aquilo que é a pesca, tanto artesanal quanto semi-industrial e industrial, e podermos controlar.
With shrimp stocks replenishing and constantly monitored, shrimp fishery has a brighter future in Mozambique. The next step is to focus on value chain for the benefit of all stakeholders.
A cadeia de valores, que é o processamento, é aquilo que nós achamos que é o futuro, para além da aquacultura que vai ser desenvolvida para o camarão.
Lessons learned from this project can be applied across countries of the Indian Ocean, where shrimp is an integral part of the economy. Sea cucumber exploitation has evolved from subsistence fishery to a fully fledged commercial fishery fueled by high demand, especially from Asia. Since the early 2000s, however, this increased exploitation impacted on stocks, which today are still under threat of collapse. The Seychelles Fishing Authority established measures to counteract the threat.
The intervention from COI not only assisted in formalizing this collaboration through the signing of a memorandum of understanding, but also strengthening it by improving the interaction with relevant stakeholders.
Through an MOU facilitated by IOC and SWIOFISH, the SFA and AMSSI, representing the interest of the industry, agreed on important measures to secure stocks while keeping the economy alive.
The introduction of a quota system is a very big achievement and has paved the way for enhanced fishery governance both at national and regional level.
The different species are slow-growing animals, and if not properly managed to be sustainably exploited, the stock could be easily affected. And we also realize the importance of the role it plays in our marine ecosystem.
The equilibrium between sustainability and the interests of operators is a priority for the Seychelles. The challenge is to manage the resource in a sustainable way.
The Seychelles Fishing Authority will continue to implement this participatory approach to decision making for all its fisheries, and the next step is to implement a co-management regime whereby stakeholders also participate in monitoring, control and surveillance activities.
In Madagascar, boat registration started in 2009 to ensure monitoring and surveillance of operators in the fishing industry. Registration has enabled data collection on a large percentage of fishing boats currently in activity.
Le programme de marquage des pirogues a des impacts. Entre autres, le contrôle sur ceux qui exploitent les ressources halieutiques et la surveillance des pêches INN. Ce programme est très important parce qu'il nous aide à contrôler les activités de pêche et à combattre la pêche illégale et également à pouvoir mesurer les efforts de pêche, les intérêts socio-économiques et surtout l'aide à la prise de décision.
Through sensitization programs financed by SWIOFISH, fishermen are understanding the importance of registering and joining associations.
Ny fiantraikan'ny fanasana ny vatany rano zony Thomas na mba hanangana statistika manzava amin'ny olona mpanao ny asa satria betsaka be olona misandoka amin'ny laza-panjona nefa tsy matianina akory izy amin'ity asa ity.
A portion of the traditional fishing community still resists registration. For the near future, the authorities wish to extend the registration campaign to them as well.
Tena mbola maro hoe tompony lakana sy voaritra ignatony anaovana azy mba ahafantarana ny effectifan'ny mpanjono amin'ity toerana ity ary etagna ireo mpanjono mba avitsika amin'ny fanaovana marquage ny lakana satria tsy andovam-bola ireny fametrahana araha reny na andovana karatra amin'ny fanjakana.
Fighting poverty and malnutrition and enhancing food security are major challenges of the poorer regions of Madagascar. With the help of SmartFish, a project was launched in 2014 aiming to accelerate the spread of carp aquaculture in the rice fields of Madagascar's highlands. Its Its implementation in Ansirabe, in Vakinankaratra, shows how such objectives can be achieved.
La mise en œuvre de ce projet a été réalisée en partenariat avec 87 établissements scolaires dans les zones rurales. L'apport de l'APTRA dans ce projet consiste à la conception d'outils pédagogiques adaptés aux collégiens, comme la bande dessinée et le poster, qui reprennent les principaux messages techniques, sociaux, économiques sur la pisciculture. Il y a aussi la formation de près de 300 enseignants pour développer leurs compétences en matière de pisciculture.
Rice-fish integration makes it possible to optimize the use of land and water resources by combining the production of plant and animal products with minimal investment. Training was dispensed to secondary school students, but parents themselves have expressed the interest to be trained in the process. The experiment was carried out within the education framework, and trainers believe it can be replicated in all regions, offering rice-fish farming potential.
La formation scolaire sur la pisciculture est une voie d'apprentissage et de diffusion de la pisciculture à grande échelle à travers la sensibilisation des futures générations.
Ie, mieritreritra nanao fitonatondra tambary rehefa vita ny fianarako satria mora tedavambola no mora velomana rehefa tena efa toana tsara.
Electronic management of resources has been taken one step further in the Maldives. Crucial data from monitoring documentation is rearranged in the FIS, the Fishing Information System. It enables the Maldives to comply with the latest international traceability requirements related to catch and vessel reporting. IUU fishing in the southwest Indian Ocean undermines the sustainable management of the fisheries resources, especially tuna stocks, and their socio-economic benefits. In 2007, the IOC member states have established a regional fisheries surveillance plan, known as the IOC PRSP, to combat IUU fishing. The project has been financially supported by the European Union for a total amount of 14 million euros. The 8 participating countries of Indian Ocean and Eastern Africa, controlling 6.4 million kilometers square of EEZ, also contribute at least 20% of the overall operational costs. Since 2015, the World Bank's SWIOFISH 1 project is also taking a significant part in the consolidation of the PRSP.
We are inviting all parties concerned to widely diffuse the best and innovative practices and lessons learned from our select champions and achievers in the field of fisheries management, governance, market development, electronic data collection system, and a plethora of such remarkable but unpublished initiatives at the grassroots level that need to be vented, adapted, or replicated on a wide scale for effective regional cooperation and networking.
Oh, nous tous ensemble, nous dire merci la mer pour le temps qu'il la mer fait nourrir nos populations. Nous pas cassons la case poisson. La mer si nous préserver et